Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Buckle the fuck up.
It's time to play the game.
They are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Time to play the game.
You can't let that shit happen.
You play to win the game.
If we take a fucking tight end, I quit.
Cannot win with him. Can't do it.
Time to play the game.
I work with retards.
God damn, do I miss that? I missed that intro. I really, I gotta love that intro. But as much as I love our normal intro, like that one is that one's fantastic as well.
Well, I think it's because we don't play it a lot. We really only played it on Sundays,
Yeah.
and I busted it out today because we're going to be talking a lot of draft before next week's big show for the draft.
Before our long ass draft show.
Yes.
But yeah, to hear that one, it's been a minute since that one's been broken out. So I'm glad we got a chance to use it. With that being said, welcome to episode 143 of Sports on Tap Detroit. I am Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell. Frank is still on assignment. He still has a job, right?
Frank is still employed. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, Frank is. Still
Good on you, buddy.
employed.
Love you.
Frank still has a job.
Good.
So yeah,
That's terrific to hear. Is he enjoying it there at least?
I
that
think
you know of?
I think so. Yeah, and I think he's pretty excited because the odds are looking pretty good. He's going to be able to stay on day shift.
Oh, that's fantastic.
From the very beginning. So
nice.
it's looking, and even if he has to go to afternoons, it looks like it's not necessarily going to be a long time before he's able to get days. So that's a big plus.
Right.
Giant
that's,
plus.
That's good to hear. I'm happy about that. Before we get into NFL draft talk, kind of like mock draft, kind of what's coming up here. A big huge night tonight for the Red Wings and just for the fate of some teams trying to get into the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
Scenario's basically simple. If the Capitals win, the Red Wings are done. They're out. Period. If the Capitals lose, it's chaos. We don't know. And I love it. Chaos.
Chaos.
I mean, granted, I don't think any of these teams at the bottom here should be in the playoffs because I think they're all terrible. But it's still fun to watch because these games actually mean something.
Yeah.
So, I know I've said for months now that I think the Red Wings are going to make it in, and I still do think they're going to make it in. I think the Capitals are going to lose tonight, and I think the Red Wings. Put it this way: if the Red Wings don't win tonight, they don't deserve to be in. You're playing a team that you're significantly better than your favorite. If you look at FanDuel right now, you're favored by it's like minus 235 or 250 or something like that you're to win.
I'll be honest with you, man. I look at pretty much all those teams that are fighting, and I say that
loosely.
I say that very loosely.
Yeah, right.
They're fighting for that last playoff spot.
Yes.
And I don't think any of them deserve to be there. Whoever gets into the playoffs is literally limping in on one leg.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna put up much of a fight. I just yes, if the Wings make it, I'll be happy. I'll watch some playoff hockey. I will not expect anything from them in the playoffs, not one bit.
Like whoever gets this last spot, they get the Rangers. It's locked. They get the Rangers. Now, if the crowd last night is any indication how a playoff crowd will be, then it'll be electric because that crowd last night was out of control. It was great. And again, I'm not a Red Wing fan.
Right.
I'm not. But I'm happy to see it back somewhat,
Yeah. You're happy to have people to hate on again.
It's not even I don't even hate them anymore.
I know.
Just because of who's running the organization. That's why I don't hate them anymore.
Right.
But I'm still not a fan of that team, but I don't have the hatred that I did. And it's good to see because it's been far too long since they've been relevant, to be honest with you.
It's been bad
and frankly,
for a while.
the league is better when the Red Wings are good.
It's been bad for a while. It's been bad for a while in Detroit, and thank God for Detroit fans for the Lions last year,
No
right?
shit, man.
No, the Pistons are the epitome of bad.
Irrelevant. You talking about irrelevant?
So
Irrelevant.
And then
Them and the Colorado Rockies.
you have
irrelevant.
you have the Tigers who are just piss poor and they don't spend any money.
Hey man, they got a winning 10-7.
That's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And then you have recently one of the radio shows in town got a new got a new broadcaster on for evenings or whatever. He's new to town. He's from somewhere down south.
Oh,
And I don't tune into that station a whole lot anymore, but I was on my way over here, and I just, God bless this guy's fucking optimism from being out of town, but he's just like, I don't understand why everybody around here is ready for the next shoe to drop, and they're just prepared for bad news, and they're just prepared to lose.
did he not do his research on this market
before
he came here?
I just thought to myself, I'm like, bro, you haven't been here long enough. Like, you give it a few years, man, and you will fucking understand. And like you said, did he not do any fucking research?
Apparently, he did no research before he decided to come here. But
No.
I guess ignorance is bliss. So you can remain positive, but you're gonna see it. It's it's finally gonna catch you, dude. Like, that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
It's gonna punch you in the face, and you're like, oh, now I get it.
This area and Detroit in general, or Detroit specifically, it's been record numbers for futility over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Record numbers.
Yeah, and it's funny, and I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago when the Bills just gutted their entire fucking team, and I know we talked a little bit about this when we went to SmackDown, and we'll get to that later. And how, like, they're not going to be competitive, or they're not going to win, and that's fine. They're not. They're going to be competitive. They can sneak in with a wild card. I don't think they're going to win the division. However, my point in this is they did what the Red Wings were terrified to do. They did what the Pistons were terrified to do, and just finally said, "Okay, this era is over." Like, they were proactive instead of reactive. Instead of setting your franchise back for decades, which both of those franchises did, the Bills said, "No, okay, this is about as far as we can go with this group.
Yeah, we have to retool.
We have to retool, and if we have to take a slight step back so we can be competitive and contenders moving forward, we have to do this." And we've seen it for far too long in this city, where these teams are far too loyal to players, far too loyal. Like, I get it. There's loyalty up until a certain point, to the point where it becomes a detriment to your franchise.
Yeah, I mean, in business, there shouldn't be any loyalty other than to the person who helps you make the most money.
Right. And
in sports, it's a business, but it's a business where winning should matter too, right? So,
right.
And I guess if you relate it to the real world, your business is, you need to win in the boardroom. You need to win in the meetings. You need to win the client over. You know what I mean? Like, okay, there's winning involved there too. So no matter what, it's business. And you don't have loyalty. You shouldn't have loyalty to people who set your business back.
Yeah. And this is frankly why I will never trash an athlete for not taking a hometown discount or trying to get the most money. Mm-hmm. For what? Why? Like, they can trash you and blow you out anytime they want. So why wouldn't you try to get the most money you possibly can? But when an organization is holding on to something for far too long, which in turn is, again, it's a detriment to your franchise, and it sets it back. In the Red Wings case, it set it back a decade for what Ken Holland did before he left.
Oh yeah.
And then you look at the Pistons. I mean, they have been literally. When is the last time the Pistons were relevant? Like, they made the playoffs in that one round against Milwaukee.
And they got trashed in 4 games.
Yeah, they got
or 3
absolutely
games,
dumped.
it was.
Yeah, they got absolutely dump trucked.
Oh yeah, they got blasted.
It is funny to me though that they've had that was at LCA, right? That was like the first year at LCA, right?
Yep.
It is funny to me that they were the first team to have a playoff game in that arena, besides the Red. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You figured for sure it would have been the Red Wings, but again,
well, and the Wings, if they get it this year, they probably will win one more game than the Pistons did, because I don't think the Wings are going to get completely shut out in a series.
No, I think they definitely can get one from the Rangers for sure.
I don't think they're winning a series, but
I just want to see how the atmosphere is at that arena for a legitimate playoff game,
right?
Because I'm sorry,
you mean for a team that people care about,
for a team that because let's be real here, that arena was built for the Red Wings. It wasn't built for the Pistons. No, like, flat out, it wasn't built for the Pistons.
The Pistons are and always will be a side thought.
They're renters. Like,
right.
Face it, that's what they are. They're renters there. So
they're the Pistons. I mean, they're the Red Wings' roommate.
Basically, yeah.
That had no home, and
right.
the Red Wings took them in and were like, "Here, come here, buddy. Come on, we'll take care of you for a while."
It's kind of like how the Chargers are at SoFi with the Rams.
Yep.
Or the Jets are with the Giants.
Yep.
Like, come on. We all know whose stadium arena this actually is.
Yeah.
So you can put your stuff up when it's your game, or like the Clippers and the Lakers. It's the fucking Lakers.
Yeah, like
arena.
listen, you get used to the living room one day a week.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and put up all your stuff in the living room that one day a week, and we'll let you do it. But then the other 6 days of the week, you get all your shit, you put it in your bedroom, because this is not your house.
No, exactly. So with that being said, I want to get into some. Let's get into some mock draft stuff. Yeah,
I'm down for that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
The NFL.
The NFL mock draft. Obviously, the draft is coming up in a little over a week in downtown Detroit. God, I wish we had a chance to get down there to do it. Do they do a show down there? Would have been dope. But
I'll be honest. Yes.
And I tried getting credentials.
In a way, yes, it would have been. In a way, yes.
Yeah.
But, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. The amount of people that are gonna be down there.
Oh, it's gonna be insane.
I'm good with not being down there.
Yeah.
There are some guys that came in from out of town, from Philly, and they're coming back that week.
Yeah.
And they're talking about going down there, and I had a discussion with them. I was like, no, man, I'm good. I'm going to be doing the show, which I love doing on that night, and two, my anxiety is too fucked up to be going down with all that. Like, I can go to a game or I can go to SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like, but the amount of people that are going to be down there is going to be 20 times that.
Oh, it's going to be crazy.
You're not going to be able to park. You're not going to be able to move. You're going to literally be touching somebody at all times. That's how many people are going to be down there.
I think it's going to be like opening day, but worse.
Oh, yes.
And opening day is
Much
much down there, but
opening day. Okay, so the draft, you're having people from out of town come in for this.
Yep.
People travel for this.
Yep.
Opening day is just the people that live around here.
Exactly.
And it's bad enough. In the NFL draft, you're going to have everybody that lives around here wants to go down their party. You're going to have people from out of town coming in. All the hotels are booked.
Oh, yeah.
All of them.
All of them.
Some of them overbooked. There was talk of people coming into town. Like last week, their reservation got canceled on them because the hotel overbooked.
Oh, no shit.
And they're calling around and can't get a room.
Oh, good. I'd be livid about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But I mean, that's how many people are going to be down there for this. No thanks, fam.
No.
I'm good. I'm good hanging out with you and Frank and whoever else wants to join us and talking NFL football during the draft and doing what we do and what we've done the last 3 years now.
It'll be year 3 this week or this year. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I looked into getting credentials for it.
Did you really?
It's a fucking nightmare to get credentials for this
yeah.
thing. I don't know. Maybe it would be cool just to do it once. Yeah. I don't know where it's at next year, but.
We'll have to look into the credentials thing more. Maybe we could actually travel to do it. That might not be bad. A little short trip.
I'm not sure where it's at next year.
But I'll be honest with you, you did more than I did for this because I honestly had no desire to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been cool, but every time I thought about doing it, my anxiety level hit an all-time high, and I was like, nah.
Nah, it's all good. We'll do it here. We'll get some food, drink some beers. It's all good, man. It's that works for me. Anyways, with that being said, let's get into this NFL mock draft. Obviously, the first pick they have Caleb Williams going to the Chicago Bears. I think we've made our thoughts pretty clear on this guy. I think we both think he's going to be a bust. We both think it was a terrible idea to get rid of Justin Fields, but that's what the Bears do. They generally make terrible ideas, and this is why they've had 8 million quarterbacks in their franchise history.
Yeah, and who knows, man? Maybe you and I are wrong.
I don't think we are.
I don't either.
We're generally pretty good on these. Like when we look at a quarterback, we're like, nah, this dude ain't good.
I'll be honest with you. I'll say our percentage is probably better than
it's pretty good.
Some of the experts.
I think it is.
You know, I always leave room to be wrong, right? Because we are wrong sometimes.
Obviously.
And Caleb Williams is by far the number one guy on the board for everybody.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
Now, does that mean we're wrong? No, not necessarily, because we've dogged players before that were ranked that high unanimously. But yeah, man, I just don't. The one thing I have to knock him about, and it's really just a feel that I get what I see. I don't see killer instinct.
I don't either.
I don't see I want to get better. What I see is I'm the best. I don't need to get better. You should draft me. You're getting lucky to draft me.
Yeah.
You're lucky to have me play for your team if you draft me. And I don't need to get better. I am who I am. I'm great. And to me, that doesn't make for the type of quarterback you need it doesn't make for the quarterback you need in the NFL.
And and this isn't about.
And I'm going to get bashed for saying that. I know I am.
And it's your opinion. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to get bashed.
And it's not about like the painting of the nails and all that shit. Like, you do you like whatever, man. I don't care what you do like outside of the field, as long as you do your job on the field. That's what I
Paint
care
your
about.
nails, wear a skirt, grab
Whatever.
a purse. I don't
care.
care. I don't give a shit.
I don't care. Like, as long as you do your job on the field, I don't give a shit what the fuck you do off the field. As long as you don't like rape women or beat
Right, yeah,
children
exactly.
or murder animals or whatever. Don't do any of that shit. But
Don't Mike Vick it.
yeah, don't be that guy. But as long as you do your thing on the field, fine. I don't like. I agree with you on this. I don't see that from him. I don't see it. And it almost seems like he's got that me mentality.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like, okay, you do you, but I mean, we'll see. I just think this is going to be another in the long line of disasters for the Chicago Bears in terms of drafting a quarterback.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. I really do.
Next up, they have the Redskins taking Drake May, which again, okay, I don't see that either. I really don't. He was. I think he's going to be better than Caleb Williams, but not by much.
I would say I think Washington's going to take Jaden Daniels. And I think Jaden Daniels will be a better quarterback than Caleb Williams.
I would
Truly.
agree with that, yes. That I do agree with, 100%.
And Jaden Daniels might not be a better quarterback now. But to me, he does have that I want it attitude.
He's got that dog in him.
Right.
Which I hate.
Well, whatever.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate that
I mean,
terminology so
he's
much.
got that it factor.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got, he has that fire that he wants to
Yep.
be better, I mean, and that's, say what you will about Caleb Williams. Some of us just don't see it. That's all.
No, I'm with you. I think they will take Daniels over Drake May, but according to this, it has Drake May. However, it does say that the betting markets have shifted to Daniels going second overall. So, for whatever that's worth. After that, they have the Patriots taking J.J. McCarthy. Now, we've said this pretty much the entirety of Michigan's season, that this dude, regardless of how the season played out, he should come back for what would have been his junior or senior year. Junior? Well, he was a redshirt, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So regardless, he should come back for at least one more year after this season.
Right.
Because I personally don't think this dude is ready at all. Just watching him throughout this season, I don't. He's not there for me. Like, I think he can get there. I think he can develop and be a good NFL quarterback.
Right.
But right now, and you're gonna pick him in the top 3. I don't see that. I really don't. And it was basically like the underwear Olympics where he just shot up draft boards. It's crazy.
Well, and so here's the question: is this going to be like Will Levis last year? So Will Levis jumped up draft
He
boards.
skyrocketed up draft boards.
But when did he get taken in the draft? Second round.
Yeah.
He was at the draft.
Yeah.
He sat in that draft room
He
all
did.
night long.
God, that was so awkward to see that.
Yeah, I mean, his girlfriend was hot, but
yeah. Then she dumped his ass, didn't she?
yeah, sat in that draft room.
Well, wouldn't you
all
dump somebody who puts
night.
mayo in their coffee?
That's disgusting.
That's fucking gross.
That's weird.
I think that's grounds for dismissal.
That's weird. Yeah.
It's like somebody that puts ketchup on chili cheese fries. I know somebody that's done that.
I'm gonna let that one go.
I almost walked right out.
I'm gonna let that one go.
She knows. She knows. But yeah. But yeah, JJ at number 3. I don't know, man. I don't see it. Not right now, anyway. Maybe next year? Yeah, okay. He probably, honestly, if he stayed, I think he'd go number 1.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I do believe that JJ will go top 6.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because he's going to go to one of these other teams, even if he doesn't go 3rd overall to New England. He's going to go top 6.
Yeah, he is. I agree with you. Either he's going to go to Minnesota, which is coming up. They got the 5th pick. or he's going to go to New England. I don't think he's going to go number 2. I don't think he's definitely not going number 1.
No. He's not going 1 or 2. Is it possible he goes 3rd to New England? Yes. I don't think it's likely. I think it's more likely he goes a few picks later, or a couple picks later. We'll get to that. But I personally would. I think it's going to go Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and then I believe Drake May goes to New England at 3.
Okay.
That's the way I believe it'll play out. I think you're going to see 4, if not 5 quarterbacks go in the top 6 picks or so, which is unheard of in my opinion. But it's going to be insane. They're like the first. If you're Arizona right now, you're praying that this plays out this way because 3 quarterbacks go before you. You have the fucking 4th pick. You get to take the best available player on the board. That's not a quarterback.
It's Marvin Harrison Jr.
In my opinion,
that's who they have Arizona taking.
Yes. Other people have said Malik Neighbors would go there, which I don't hate that pick. I just still think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a better player than he is.
And then you have a midget throwing him the ball.
Yeah. And
maybe they can play Call of Duty together.
One with an attitude problem too. It's another one. Man.
Yeah.
Like he.
That's gonna be an interesting setup if it does in fact play out that way. Which I have no reason to think it's not gonna play out that way.
Right.
So, so Marvin Harrison Jr. to Arizona, could totally see that happening. I think that's going to happen, honestly.
The other thing I can see happening with Arizona is I can see them trading out of that spot.
Yeah.
With either the Chargers, not the Chargers, with either Minnesota, New York.
What would they have to give up to move up?
I could see possibly the Raiders, and Denver doesn't have anything to give up. They would want to move up, but they don't have anything to give up.
Conceivably, what would you have to give up to move up to that spot?
So let's see. Where is
any team willing to pay that?
Where is Minnesota actually picking?
5th. Oh, that's a mock trade, though.
Right, that's a mock trade. But where is Minnesota actually picking?
That is a good question. I don't know.
11th.
Okay.
So Minnesota would want to move up to get a quarterback. I know they would. New York is probably going to look to take a quarterback unless they're stupid.
What, Danny Dimes isn't it? What about Tommy DeVito?
They have to wheel Danny Dimes out there in a fucking wheelchair at this point, bro. Like he's literally Weekend at Bernie's out there. They're just trotting him out there with his shoes tied to their shoes.
Yeah.
That dude's going to die on the field. That guy gets beat up. Yeah. I could see Arizona trading out of that spot.
Yep.
I could see that. Minnesota would have to give up their first this year, which is 11, to move up to 4, along with probably their first next year and maybe like a 3rd. I'd have to look at the exact weighing out of what picks weigh where, but I would say probably they'd have to give up their 11 and probably their first next year, along with a 3rd round pick to move up to that spot. Move up, 6 spots, 7 spots?
Right. Well, in this projected trade with the Chargers, they have the Vikings taking Jaden Daniels, if he's there, and obviously we think he's going to go higher.
So I'm looking at a couple. They have the Vikings moving up to take J.J. McCarthy. They have the Vikings moving up to take Drake May if he doesn't go. They're all over the board with this one. And I truly believe they would move up. I think they would take Drake May if he was available. And I think they would also jump up to get JJ as well. I think they jump up to get either one of those guys. It's a matter of. I think it's honestly a matter of, can Sean Payton muster up anything to make a trade to get J.J. McCarthy? Because from everything I read, Sean Payton is fucking in love with J.J. McCarthy.
I could see that. Yeah.
And he would kill for the chance to draft him. Now, in this case, if J.J. McCarthy is getting the Will Levis treatment, he will not fall out of the first round because if he makes it all the way to the Denver Broncos pick,
They're going to pick him.
they're taking him.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you on that. I think I don't know what they have to give up to move up to get him. I really don't.
They don't have the Broncos. They don't have much at all. That's the problem.
Didn't they give it all away in getting Russ?
Yeah. Well, and then they gave Russ away. So
and then they gave Russ away.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty strapped right now. They're in bad shape financially. They're in bad shape draft wise. That's one reason why I think Sean Payton is enamored with JJ. He's enamored with a new quarterback. He needs to get a new quarterback in there and change the culture, change the face. He wants it to fit himself.
He wants to run his own ship.
Right.
It's simple as that. That's what he wants to do. He wants to make things his way. And he wasn't going to be able to do that with Russ, and we kind of saw that coming when he signed on to be a head coach.
Yeah.
Moving on to the New York Giants, they have them taking Malik Neighbors, wide receiver out of LSU. I mean, the Giants really don't have many weapons to begin with, and they just lost their best one in Saquon. So, yeah, you got to start somewhere, I guess, and in a receiver-heavy draft. Yeah. You got to get one of these quarterbacks somebody to throw the ball to.
I see Malik Neighbors in a couple here. I see Marvin Harrison. If Neighbors goes to Arizona and they don't trade on that spot, which some drafts have Neighbors going first, Harrison makes sense. I truly believe if one of the 4 quarterbacks make it to the Giants, they're snatching them up. I truly believe that if May,
even with all the money owed to Danny Dimes,
absolutely,
okay,
absolutely,
they owe him way too much fucking money.
They owe him a ton of money, but again, I think there's only 1 year left after this year on that contract, and they can get out of it. I think they know he's not the future. They know he's literally the guy's ready for his limbs to fall off almost.
Right.
His head's attached by fucking string and silly putty. He's not.
That's the thing. It's him and is DeVito even still part of that team?
Nope.
Okay, so never mind.
Nope.
They said, all right, we've had enough with Tommy Cutlets. That's what they call him?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also a couple mock drafts. Here's one that's interesting. They actually have Jaden Daniels making it all the way down to the Giants pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They have Caleb Williams going, Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Patriots taking Joe Alt. They have Arizona taking Marvin Harrison. And, they have
if Belichick was still there,
I
could see that 1,000,000% happening.
Joe Alt,
yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, you can't go wrong with a great offensive lineman early in the first round.
You really can't. Frankly, that's how you should build your fucking team.
Absolutely. And that's, that's one thing the Bears, like they traded away Justin Fields. They're going after Caleb Williams. They have another pick at number 9. And by all accounts, they're probably going to go with a wide receiver with that pick, even though they have Keenan Allen and they have DJ Moore.
Yeah.
By all accounts, they're looking at taking a wide receiver at that spot in this draft to grow with Caleb Williams. Your offensive line still sucks.
Yeah, you might want to address that.
Caleb Williams is going to die.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You have.
I mean, look what happened with Justin Fields.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And he's arguably a more mobile quarterback, and he almost died.
Yeah.
So the next pick, and it's funny you say Joe Alt. They have the Titans taking Joe Alt.
Yeah, and by all accounts, I think he does fall to here. I think that one mock draft or 2 mock drafts is a little bit off on this one. I think Joe Alt falls to the Titans, and I think they do take him, and I think they have a great pick there. I think that's a smart first round pick right there. You can't be any safer than a guy like Joe Alt. Like that's a safe. It's almost like when the Lions took Penei Sewell.
Which turned out to be a great pick.
It was a great pick.
Yep.
It was safe.
Yep.
It was a safe, great pick. You knew, like you probably weren't going wrong with this one.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think it was also the right pick.
Well, yes, absolutely. I agree with that too. And I think at this pick here, number 7 overall, I think if the Patriots were to take him at 3 overall, it's the right pick.
Yeah.
I think at 7 overall to the Titans, it's the right pick. It's a great pick.
And you got to protect your quarterbacks, man. Again, this is how I've always thought about building a team is from the trenches out. And yeah, everybody wants to go for the stud quarterback. I get it, but what's the point of having a stud quarterback if you can't protect them? Like, it makes no sense.
Nope.
Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons, who have the next pick. They are taking Dallas Turner, edge rusher out of Alabama. I mean, you look at the Falcons' defense. It wasn't terrible. Well, it wasn't great. So I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
And now you have a legitimate quarterback. You're behind center, and you have your line's pretty good. Yeah, all right. Maybe shore up your defense a little bit. Yeah. Because you have a legitimate, like a competent quarterback now.
I'm telling you, man. I think you were a year early on Atlanta. I think Atlanta is gonna be great this year.
And
Atlanta's gonna be great.
And then they're gonna fuck up in the playoffs.
They're gonna be so fun to watch. Though,
Oh yeah,
bro. I'm telling you.
Oh, they're gonna put up a lot of points.
They're gonna be so fun to watch.
Yeah, they're gonna put up a lot of points. They're gonna bring the Dirty Bird back. 100%.
I'm gonna love watching those games. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. They're gonna be fun.
Yeah, they're gonna bring the Dirty Bird back. 100%.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins is gonna be wearing those chains, doing the Dirty Bird in the locker room after games and shit. It's gonna be awesome.
And with this pick with Atlanta, I think Jared Verse, Dallas Turner. There's a couple of names you can go with on defense here, and I believe that's where they're going to go with this pick. I agree with you that they're set on offense. I don't think they go with offense. If they do anything, maybe it's an offensive lineman. If Joe Alt falls there, I think they take him. I think that's a no-brainer. I don't think he'll fall there, but I think Dallas Turner is probably the pick there.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Bears' second pick in the first round. It has them taking Rome. Is it Rome or Rome? Rome Odunze, wide receiver out of Washington.
Rome Odunze.
Odunze. Okay, because I know there's a bunch of fucked up names coming up here. So
there's a lot. Yeah,
I'm glad I started off on the right foot.
Yeah. Just wait till you get to the Chargers at pick 11.
I saw.
Yeah, Rome Odunze is a very good wide receiver, and again, that's when I was talking about the Bears are rumored to be taking a wide receiver, a young wide receiver in this draft with Caleb Williams. That's who I was referring to.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I think you could do a lot worse than Rome Odunze, but if you're the Bears, like I said, you're drafting a young quarterback at number 1 overall. You just got rid of your other young quarterback who you didn't give enough time to develop. You didn't help develop him.
You didn't give him the weapons.
You didn't give him an offensive line to protect him at all.
Yep.
And you're basically going to make the same mistake again if you do this. I don't see it as a smart move, in my opinion. I just don't.
Well, again, the drafting of Caleb Williams, not a smart move.
No.
But again, Bear's gonna bear. That's what they do. You want to say like their catchphrase is what? Bear down? Yeah, bear down.
I think the Bears would be smarter here to take a guy like either J.C. Latham, Talise Fuaga. I think an offensive lineman here would be really smart. Even Penn State's Fashanu would be a great one here. I think they'd be smart to go offensive line. And some people would say with those other guys, all right, at 9 you're reaching, right? What, are they projected to go 4, 5, 6 picks after you? Is that really reaching? Or are you taking the best player that's a need for your team? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You're not, this is going to sound funny, the Bears, you're not the Lions. You don't have the ability to just take best available player.
No, you have positions of
You
need.
have things that you need.
Yes, yeah.
And when you have so many needs, you have to fill those, man. And if you're reaching a couple picks for a guy that you need, to me that outweighs just taking the best available player on your board when you're in the position you're in as the Bears. If you're the Lions, best available player makes sense.
He does. Well, this is a guy you absolutely need as your number 1 pick.
Yes.
Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank.
I didn't know where you're going. I was going to let you say it.
If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options, and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today with 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546. We gotta get a new picture of him because they got a new logo apparently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta have him send a new picture so we can
All right.
upload that shit. Moving on to the New York Jets, has them taking J.C. Latham, offensive tackle out of Alabama. I like this pick. I do. They absolutely. It's probably their biggest area of need.
They have to take an offensive lineman. But in a lot of mocks I see, they're not. Like, there's a mock I see them taking. They're mocked to take a wide receiver at 10.
Why?
They're mocked in some to take Rome Odunze if he falls to them. Brian Thomas out of LSU.
I mean, you need offensive linemen to keep the future vice president upright, dude.
Yeah. Now in one draft they are taking an offensive lineman. They take Fuaga out of Oregon State.
Yeah.
And actually, there's three here that I see that they take Fuaga. To me, offensive lineman is the pick for them too, right? I mean, we talked about it with the Bears. It should be an offensive lineman. It really should be an offensive lineman here for the Jets. They have to be able to protect Aaron Rodgers, who made it 5 plays last year.
Yeah.
Because all 5 plays he ran for his life, and then he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Like,
because their offensive line is terrible.
It's bad.
Like, even
It's
if
bad.
that had at some point during that season, it was going to happen that he was going to get hurt.
Even if you take a wide receiver here, he has no time to throw the ball to him.
No, because they were two things. They were playing on that shitty ass turf at MetLife Stadium.
Yes.
And their offensive line was absolute trash.
Garbage.
So at some point, Aaron Rodgers was going to get hurt. It was just a matter of time.
Yes.
So I think going offensive line here is the right call. Even if one of these wide receivers slips down to you, who cares? It's such a deep wide receiver draft. You don't need to take a guy this high.
No.
Especially when offensive line is your primary area of need. But
Yes, absolutely.
again, bad organizations stay bad for a reason because they do stupid shit like taking a wide receiver when they need a fucking offensive lineman.
Yeah, it makes no sense there to me.
It does not. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to say next up we got the Chargers.
Yes. This is the part of the mock trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, and again, I believe most everything I look at has them trading with Minnesota.
Yep.
There's a couple that have Minnesota trading with Arizona, like I had suggested. But yeah, almost everything has Minnesota trading up into this spot.
Which again, this is another pick I like for the
And
for the
Chargers
Chargers.
trading back. Yeah.
I like this pick for the Chargers because you've seen him with Justin Herbert every year. You see him running for his life. He gets hurt because their offensive line fucking sucks.
Well, I think this is another offensive line need.
Yes.
This is an offensive line pick. I think if the Chargers stay up and don't trade out, I think they take an offensive lineman at 5.
I agree with you. I mean, you saw how Harbaugh built Michigan. He built it from the trenches out.
Yep. I think at 5, if they don't trade out, at 5 they still take an offensive lineman. That's why I also think it's smart for them if they can make a trade back, and still get an offensive lineman you want.
Yeah.
Because by all accounts, they could still trade back and get Fuaga. They could still trade back and get J.C. Latham.
Fuaga.
They,
I like that name. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they could still trade back and get the guy they want. And a lot of these teams want a quarterback, so fucking make a deal with one of them.
Yeah. No, I second what you just said. After that, we have the Broncos, which we kind of talked about them a little bit earlier, wanting to trade up and try to get one of these quarterbacks, specifically J.J. McCarthy. But it has them taking Laiatu Latu, edge rusher out of UCLA. I with the Broncos, it's like, what did they do? What do they need? There's so many areas
Everything.
of need with this team.
They need everything.
Right.
They need everything.
To me personally, I would try to trade and get as many draft picks as I possibly can.
Well,
Because you think somebody would come up to the 12th pick, right?
yeah.
So you can probably weasel 2 draft picks out of that. You know,
Yeah.
they need so much shit for this team. They have to, in my opinion, try to acquire draft picks.
I think so too. I would. Here's the funny thing. I wouldn't put it past them to trade this year's first next year's first and the first after that
Oh shit.
to a team at 3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
and jump up and get their quarterback they want. I would not be surprised at all.
If they did that, I think that'd be incredibly stupid.
They might pull a New Orleans with a Ricky Williams.
That would
might
be
do it.
organizational suicide if they did that.
They've already committed organizational
Well,
suicide. What's worse? What's more? I mean, why?
I mean, we started off the show talking about franchises who've been set back decades. Mm-hmm. This would set this franchise back decades if they did this.
And they're already set back a decade.
Yeah.
Or so.
So, I mean, that would be like when we saw the Niners go for Trey Lance. We thought we were kind of like. We liked Trey Lance, but it was almost. It seems like a bit of a reach.
It was a weird one. We did like Trey Lance,
right.
but it was weird.
It worked because of the Niners. Because even if it failed, it wasn't like it was going to crush your franchise.
Right.
If this fails, if they do that and it fails,
You said doo-doo.
I did say doo-doo. But if they do it and it fails, like your franchise is fucked.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fucked.
fucked. Next up, we have the Raiders taking Troy Fautanu out of Washington.
And I'm going to go with that's not going to happen.
Okay.
I'm going to go with they're going to take their boy Michael Penix Jr. here.
Oh,
That's what's going to happen.
I saw a meme today. It was special needs Jameis Winston or something like that. I'm like, dude, that's fucking funny.
Wow. Wow.
I sent it to Frank earlier.
Wow.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry. He's Jameis Winston without special needs. Sorry, my fault.
Jameis Winston without
special needs. Yes.
That's funny. that is good. I mean, I could also see him going an offensive lineman here. I could see him going for a corner here. If Latham falls, I could see them taking him. I can see them taking a guy like Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo. Remember I told you that that's a corner.
did.
It's a corner to watch. I think he's another one flying up draft boards, and he's a guy that
I've studied up on that guy.
he's out of a smaller school. You have not. He's out of a.
You are correct.
He's out of a smaller school, but I'll be honest with you, he very well might be the best cornerback in this draft. And I think anybody that gets him is getting a stud at corner. And I could see them taking him. Like I said, J.C. Latham. I could see them taking Michael Penix Jr. Those are just some that I could see him taking. I think Penix Jr. is probably the pick
Okay.
for me.
Next up, we got the Saints taking. I'm not even gonna try this one. Olumuyiwa Fashanu out of Penn State. The guy from Penn State you were talking about a little while ago. Yes.
Yeah, Fashanu, Penn State. I'm not going to try the first name. I'm just going to say Fashanu.
Yep.
And I think Fashaw is what you need to say about that.
I like that. Yes.
I think what you need to say about this guy. Listen, Penn State offensive lineman, Notre Dame offensive lineman, Michigan offensive lineman. There's things that are there's things that are almost guaranteed in football, right?
Wisconsin offensive. Yep.
There's things that are almost guaranteed in football.
Iowa tight end.
Yes. Like there's guarantees in football.
Yep.
Anybody who gets this guy is getting an offensive lineman who's going to be a stud for years to come.
The only problem is you still have Derek Carr as your quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. But at least you can protect him to where he can overthrow the receivers this time. You know?
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I think again, offensive lineman is a smart pick here for them. It's been kind of a theme for us going across the board. I think there's a lot of these teams that could use good offensive linemen. And listen, I think I agree with you what you said earlier. It's the way you build a team. Mm-hmm. It's the way you build a franchise. You build from the trenches. That's what the Lions have done.
They have.
Why are they finally good?
Because their offensive and defensive lines are really fucking good.
That's what they've done. I mean, you've got to do that.
Yes. Yes. The Lions have, and it's weird to say this in 2024, but the Lions actually built it the right way.
Yep.
Next up, we have the Colts. Has them taking Brock Bowers, and if that's the case, I love that pick.
I think though, I just choked on my gum. Yeah, I think that's I think that would be a great pick for them. I don't see it happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't
You see him going higher?
Possibly.
Okay.
I could see him going higher. I think whoever gets Brock Bowers is getting a fucking stud.
I agree.
I'm not
That's
a
why if this happens, that's why I love that pick.
Not a big proponent of taking a tight end in the first round, but I think Brock Bowers fits a mold of he's not just a tight end, right? I mean, this guy is
It's like a receiver.
he's fucking great.
Yeah.
And I just don't see Indianapolis doing that here. Now, they'd be smart to do it because Richardson having a good tight end, a good dump off tight end, a guy like that can take pressure off your quarterback, right? And they've got a young quarterback in Richardson. If you want to take pressure off of him and keep him upright more, get him a really good tight end, right? And this would be a smart move. I don't necessarily see it happening. But another possibility here, man, is I can see a team like Miami trading up for a guy like Brock Bowers here. I can see something like that happening. Now, Indianapolis would probably be smart to do it. I just don't necessarily see them doing it. Great pick, though. Yeah, this is about the time where I would see Brock Bowers go.
That'd be a huge get for Miami.
That'd be huge.
That'd be a huge get for Miami.
It'd be huge.
And their GM isn't afraid to do shit like that.
No. And that's one reason why I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Okay. Next up, we have the Seahawks taking Jared Verse, edge rusher out of Florida State.
Now, this is one where I could see them taking a number of guys. I could see them taking Fatanu. I could see them taking, let's see, who else could I, like, who else could I see them taking?
Well, Mike McDonald, he's a defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I think they're going to stick on defense here.
Yeah.
I do. I could see him trading back as well.
I could see them trading back. They need a lot. You might also see a guy like, listen, if Quinyon Mitchell doesn't go before this pick, I could see them taking him.
Okay. It's just, I look at the Seahawks. I'm like, what does this team actually need? And it seems like for the longest time they've needed offensive line.
Yeah.
Like for the longest time.
Honestly, if Brock Bowers were to make it to this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they took him too.
Okay. All right. After that, we have they're not real, right?
The not real Jaguars.
They're not even real adjacent anymore.
They're not even real adjacent. They're just not real.
Not real. Has them taking Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU.
I think no matter what, the Jaguars go defense. I think no matter what, the Jaguars go defense.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one because, frankly, I think we've seen out of Sunshine down there, Trevor Lawrence, that they gave him weapons, and he, frankly, didn't do much with said weapons.
No.
So you have to almost change your thinking as an organization. Be like, okay, we try to get him weapons. We try to go just, play air it out football, whatever. Try to outscore you. Maybe try this approach. Like maybe stack our defense and see how that plays out. As long as Trevor Lawrence plays average, we'll be fine.
I could see them taking Terrion Arnold out of Alabama, cornerback. I could see them taking Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama.
Did you say Kool-Aid McKinstry?
Yeah, that's his name. Literally, his name is Kool-Aid McKinstry. Yeah,
I'm not doubting you.
I could see them. Let's see. I could see them taking again. If Quinyon Mitchell falls to them, I can see them taking him because
you were hyping your boy up, dude.
I listen. Whoever gets him in the middle of this first round gets a player.
Okay,
they get a guy. You know what I mean? Like I can even see them taking Byron Murphy, defensive lineman out of Texas. I think no matter what, I believe they go defense on this if they're smart. I think they go defense.
Okay. Next up, we got the Bengals taking. Just looking at this dude's face, this is like the perfect name for this dipshit. Ladd McConkey. Really? Like, you look like a Ladd McConkey. Like, that's exactly what you look like. If I looked at you, for the first time and didn't see your name there, I'd be like, his name's Ladd McConkey. 100%. So has the Bengals taken him, wide receiver out of Georgia.
I don't see that.
I don't either.
I personally think that's wrong.
I see them going offensive line. I do.
I see him either. Listen, I think there's a couple ways they could go, right? I think offensive line makes sense. I think defensive line makes sense, right?
Yep.
Again, you're looking at a guy like Byron Murphy, Johnny Newton out of Illinois. The other thing I can see here, besides either a really good offensive lineman, really good defensive lineman in this middle of the first round, if Brock Bowers falls to them, I think they snatch him up.
I don't think he's falling.
I don't think he falls to 18 either. Nope. I'm just saying there are some mocks that have him falling, and I think they'd be fucking dumb.
That'd be a great pickup for them. It would absolutely.
It'd be a home run, bro.
It really would be.
Home run.
You know what else is a home run? The Joe Wright Group.
Yes.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 3 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group.
Yeah.
Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, and Shane Wilson a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not his fault he can't read.
The only reason why that is I memorized it. I've heard Frank read it so many times I memorized it. So next up we have the Rams, and
they need a lot.
But they're paying for going for it, and fine. You got what you wanted out of it. I don't have any problem with this.
They got a Super Bowl.
They
went all in.
And I'm fine with that.
And now they're paying the price.
Now you're paying the price for it. But now you're trying to replace.
Was it worth it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a ring.
Yeah, you got
fucking right. It was worth it.
Super Bowl. It was worth it.
Absolutely. And this is why I wish the Bills would have done that. Just go all in for it.
Go for it.
Like when they could have got McCaffrey, just do it. Like who cares? But anyway, that's
it.
We digress. But now you have to replace Aaron Donald.
Yep.
Which not easy.
No, it's not. Which again, so a guy like if he makes it here, this is around the area, a little bit before, a little bit after, this is around the area where Byron Murphy goes.
Yep.
Johnny Newton out of Illinois. I mentioned those 2 already. Maybe even I've even seen Jared Verse drop this far.
Mm-hmm.
This is a place where I could see a guy like that going. Maybe even a Chop Robinson out of Penn State. I think they go defense. I think they go defensive line. They're losing a lot there. I think they need to build from the trenches. I think they do. I think they go defensive line here.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that one. Especially trying to replace that guy. Yeah. Yeah. Next, we got the Steelers taking Jackson Powers Johnson. What a fucking name. Offensive lineman out of Oregon. Now, looking at this dude looks like a Steeler offensive lineman. He does. Yeah, again, this has been an issue with the Steelers for a little while now. Their offensive line has not been great. And yeah, you've had shitty quarterbacks behind said offensive line.
Yeah.
But having a shitty offensive line, not exactly helping.
I think they go offensive line no matter what.
Yep.
I think Jackson Powers Johnson would be a very good pick for them. He's interior. He's a guard. I think if you're looking at tackles, you're going to be looking at Graham Barton. You're going to be looking at a guy like Amarius Mims out of Georgia. And maybe even a guy like Talise Fuaga, Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like that. If they don't go offensive lineman, I could see them taking a guy like Tyrion Arnold, cornerback. He kind of fits that Steeler mold as well. You know how we always say it. We say it every fucking year. The Steelers, you can peg the guys that the Steelers would want.
Yep.
You can peg the guys that Baltimore would want.
Yep.
Like they just fit. They fit.
Well, that's why I literally just looking at this guy. This guy looks like a fucking Steeler.
Yeah.
Like he'd be a Steelers offensive lineman. It makes sense. Next up, we got the Dolphins taking Chop Robinson.
That would be a good pick for them there. Edge rusher. Edge rusher out of Penn State. Very good pick for them there if that's the way they go.
Unless they trade up, like we're talking about.
Yeah, unless they trade up.
Yep.
I could also see them going for, maybe an offensive lineman guy like Graham Barton. Corner, Nate Wiggins maybe. Possibly Terrion Arnold if he does fall past Pittsburgh and they go for an offensive lineman. There's a few ways they could go. They could do worse than Kool-Aid McKinstry if he's there and they decide to go that way. Even Cooper DeJean, cornerback, makes sense. I think if they don't trade up and make a home run hit with like trading up for Brock Bowers or something like that, I think they'd be smart to go defense. That defense needs a lot of fucking work, bro.
Yep.
They need a lot of
it
work on
does.
that
It does.
defense.
Yeah, they gave up a lot of points last year. Next up, we got the Eagles taking Amarius Mims, offensive tackle out of Georgia. I mean, that's obviously with Kelsey retiring. He's not a center, but still, you still got to shore up that offensive line. It was an older offensive line. Let's face it.
Yes. The defense needs some work too, and looking at this, yes, Amarius Mims would make sense. In my opinion, I think it's either an offensive lineman like that, Amarius Mims. There's so many teams ahead of them that need offensive linemen and could take an offensive lineman. I think maybe they might be pressured.
Yeah.
Not pressured, but they might have to go defense. They might have to go corner. And I think there's going to be a handful of corners that go in this area here. And I think that might be the route they end up having to take because I think some of these offensive linemen will be gone by this time.
I would concur with that. Next, we got the Chargers, mock trade from the Vikings, taking Graham Barton, offensive tackle out of Duke. This wouldn't surprise me in the least. I think, like I said, we saw how Harbaugh built Michigan. I think he's going to try to build the Chargers the same exact way.
I would agree with that. I think he does.
You have a franchise quarterback. You want to protect him. I get it. Do it.
And if this is where they're at because of that trade, I think they'd be smart to do that. If this is where, because 23, this is where Houston would be picking. Let's see here. 23. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Houston's a team that we'll get into that at another time, but they're a team that is going for it. They're all in.
Oh yeah,
they're fucking all in.
They are absolutely all
That's
in.
another team I love this year.
Until
Atlanta.
Until Stephon Diggs decides he wants to be an asshole and destroy that locker room.
Hopefully that doesn't happen for them. But I'm like that team is all in. Bro.
They are. Yeah, and good for them. I have no issue with this. If you want to go all in.
Yep.
Don't half-ass it. Fucking do it.
Nope.
You know
who else doesn't half-ass it?
That bald guy, right?
Yeah, at least when he's working, he doesn't. We all know planning events such as a wedding, birthday party, graduation party, or any other event that might require a DJ can be very hairy. Eliminate the stress and give Steve Waddell at Baldman Entertainment a call today at 586-747-5402. He is the resident DJ for St. Hubert's Festival every year. If he's good enough for God, he's good enough for you. Again, that's Baldman Entertainment, 586-747-5402. The best decision you can make for a smooth event.
Nice. Nicely done. Good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Nicely done. All right, moving on to the Cowgirls.
Yeehaw.
I honestly don't care what they do. I really don't.
I think you go offensive line, but I really don't give a shit. Sorry, Steve. I know I just did your read right before we talked about your team.
But I don't care what the Cowboys do. I really don't.
I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. I'm flat out going to tell you what they're going to do. It's going to be an offensive lineman, in my opinion, and go from there. It'll be a choice of whatever's left over by the time it gets to them.
And then it'll be
guarantee it.
And then it'll be it's the Cowboys' year. We're winning it all.
It's their
Super
year.
Bowl.
It's their year.
Every year.
This is their year.
And they're going to overpay Dak, which is going to be
This
great.
is their year.
After that, we got the Green Bay Packers. This is where they have them taking your boy, Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay. I believe Quinyon Mitchell goes way before this. I think this is an area, and a couple of names that I named before about corners. I think this is the area where you see Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
guys like that go. Quinion Mitchell, in my opinion, and again, I'm all in on
You
this
are.
guy.
I'm going to have to get you a Quinion Mitchell jersey.
I might, depending on where he goes. But yeah, I think this is going to be the area for those guys. I think Quinion Mitchell goes ahead of these guys and is gone by this point. But
Well, to be fair, that's in this thing it says they'd be shocked to see him there. So yes,
I would be completely shocked to see him
Right.
there.
What the Packers need, I think they need another offensive weapon. I do.
They do. I also think they need an offensive lineman, which we talked about for many
Yeah.
other teams.
Which is what they draft every fucking year.
Which they do. But yeah, I don't. This one is one I'm having a hard time picking.
Yeah.
I think they might go one of these other corners that hasn't gone yet. Is where I think they might go. Honestly.
Next up, we go to the Tampa Bay Bucks. It has them taking Tyrion Arnold, cornerback out of Alabama.
I think he's probably gone by this point, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
If they do go corner, it's one of these leftover ones.
This is where you're seeing like a lot of corners and secondary
Yeah.
players type going.
Yeah. I could also see a guy like Graham Barton who possibly might fall down here.
Yeah.
Out of Duke, an offensive lineman. Latu, or however you pronounce his name, out of UCLA, is an edge rusher that I could see going around this area.
Wow.
He's kind of in this area of the draft, projected at least. I mean, if Chop Robinson falls this far, that'd be a great pick for them.
It would be. Next, we got the Cardinals, and this is the pick from the Houston Texans.
Can I just say I don't give a shit?
I don't either, but it's got him taking your boy Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Again, if he falls at this point, I think that's a great pick for them. Again, one of those things where I think he probably goes ahead of this, but yeah, if he's there, it's a good pick.
Right.
Can't hate on it.
Next up to my Buffalo Bills has them taking Troy Franklin, wide receiver out of Oregon. I have a feeling they're gonna trade up here. They have 1 million picks in this draft.
They do have a lot of picks. I
think-
think they have 14.
Between like 12 and 14. It's somewhere in that range. I think they're going to try to package some picks to move up or something. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to try to get a guy like Harrison.
So I'm going to tell you who they're going to take if they don't move up, though.
Yeah.
And I will borderline guarantee this.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking Mitchell out of Texas, wide receiver.
Okay.
I'll borderline guarantee it. If they do not move up, if they do not trade out of that position, I believe that's the guy they take.
Okay. I mean, they need it. Like,
Yeah.
Once they traded Diggs, like you basically just guaranteed who you were, like what you were going after with your first.
I mean,
pick.
that's that they need that position, and at that point in the draft, I believe that's to me, it's almost a guarantee that's who they take.
Yeah, I'm
Almost
cool
a
with it.
guarantee.
If they don't trade up. Now, if they trade up, okay. See, if they want Harrison, I mean, you're gonna have to package a decent amount, I would think, to move up that high.
Yeah.
But again, they have the draft picks. They have the draft capital to do it. So we'll see how that plays out. Next, we have the Detroit Lions. Has them taking Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson.
Mrs. Wiggins. Mrs. Wiggins.
I don't hate this. I really don't. They got to shore up that secondary. That was, let's face it, Lions fans, your secondary got absolutely torched last year.
So that
Torched.
to me, you got to attack this in one of two ways, right? You either go for the defensive lineman. If you have a good defensive lineman, good edge rusher,
Yeah.
it can shore up both positions because the pressure you get on the quarterback,
Yep.
it's less time your cornerbacks have to cover.
Yep.
And they can cover for less time, which means they're making better plays. They're able to make better plays. It kind of kills two birds with one stone. Now, if the defensive lineman isn't there, I think you got to take a corner. You need that. You need that pretty badly. But what we've learned by watching the Lions draft in recent years and Brad Holmes is that he goes for best available at all times.
He does.
So I would not be shocked to see them just go completely off tilt and take a guy that we're not even thinking of that is high on their board. But I think here's one that's funny. I see Kool-Aid. There's one draft here that has Kool-Aid McKinstry falling to them.
Really?
And I think that's if he's there, that's a great fucking pick, man. Like, that's a great pick. Another one has them taking Chop Robinson because he's there. Darius Robinson out of Missouri is an edge rusher. I think if you have a good enough edge rusher at that spot, I think you'd be stupid not to take him because it helps both positions.
Right.
It helps your corners, it helps your defensive backs, and it helps your defensive line, which you sorely need. In my opinion, it's defensive lineman and cornerback is the two positions. Whatever's best available at those two positions when they get there is what they should take.
Okay.
But they will go off board and just take the best available on
Wouldn't
their
surprise
board.
me.
It wasn't me either. And again, I can't hate on Brad Holmes because that motherfucker drafts great.
He's gotten it right.
Great at drafting.
He's
So
gotten it right so
whatever he does on that night, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to go, yep, that's a great pick.
Next, we got Vegas, but this is a mock trade with Baltimore.
Yep.
It has Vegas taking non-special needs Jameis Winston and
Michael
Michael
Penix.
Penix Jr.
See, I think they take him earlier than that.
I want this to happen so bad, so Frank has to get a Michael Penix Jr. jersey.
I personally think they take him earlier than that at their pick early in draft at 13. But
if Baltimore is still there.
But if they don't take him at 13,
Yeah.
trading up into the bottom of the first round to get him is a smart move. Very smart move for them. You take another guy at 13 that you really like, and you move up into the bottom of the first from the second, and you take your guy that you want. And I think Penix Jr. can be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I do.
This is one I'm going to disagree with you on. I don't think he's that guy. I don't see it.
Yeah.
No, I don't see it.
Hey, I completely get your point. Other than I mean, listen, we see what we see in guys, right? And we differ sometimes. I do. I think he can be a starting quarterback. I'm not saying he's a home run. I'm not saying he's a guarantee at all. I think he can be a starting quarterback.
Okay.
And to get a guy like that in the late first, if that's what they do, I like it. Even if they take him at 13, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
What else are you going to take there? You know what I mean? Like, I don't hate it. I think he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Now, if Baltimore is still there and this trade doesn't happen.
If Baltimore's still there and the trade doesn't happen, I think offensive lineman is where they go.
Okay.
As long as there's still one available. And if not, I would say defensive lineman. I think they attack one of those two positions at this pick 30. I mean, it's late in the first round. I think you go after one of those two positions, like a Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma.
Yeah. But whatever guy they take, it's going to be like a Raven. You know?
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
what they do.
Absolutely. And actually, that name kind of sticks out to me. Is Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma is one. Fuatanu is kind of like a Baltimore guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of what I see there.
Next pick, we have the Niners taking Adonai Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas. Okay. I mean, especially if Brandon Ayuk leaves, which is looking more and more like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I could see them replacing him with this guy. I really do. Like, why wouldn't you? It's a late round pick. Shit.
Yep.
It makes total sense. And then the last pick of the first round, we have the Chiefs taking Malachi Corley, wide receiver out of Western Kentucky. That's a short fucking receiver. Jesus.
I can see them taking any number of guys here. I'm going to name a couple. Brian Thomas, if he falls.
Especially with his Rashee Rice situation.
Yeah. So Brian Thomas, wide receiver. Jalen Polk, wide receiver. The boy that I had going to your Buffalo Bills, Adonai Mitchell out of Texas, if he falls there, is a possibility. I think they do go offensive weapon here. If they don't go that route, I kind of see a guy like Nate Wiggins if he's there, cornerback. I see them taking him. That's kind of the places I see that going.
Nice.
Just a couple of factors here I want to throw in, and I just want to throw out looking at the big board, right? I think whoever gets Brock Bowers is going to get a top 5 player in this draft. Right? I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Yep.
And I'm going to name guys that I don't think are going to go in the top 10 that I think are really great players. That if somebody gets them, they're going to get value above where they draft him, right? Brock Bowers, you're going to get value above where you draft him, right? That's plain and simple.
I think the dude's going to be a stud.
Yeah, Luaitu Latu, edge rusher out of UCLA. I think he's a top 10 pick. You're going to get him in the mid to late first round. I think that's a great pick for you to get in the first round. I think it's great. Quinion Mitchell. I cannot say this kid's name enough. I think he's one of the better picks in this draft.
You've said it quite a bit today.
Yeah. Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
Great pick in my mind. I think he's one of those picks that you can get a little bit late. Like if he falls to you, you get value above where you draft him, right? I mean that's just in my mind. That's absolutely the case. And this is going to be a funny one too. I think where Cooper DeJean is going, the white cornerback, which does not necessarily exist. I'm going to call him a defensive back because I'm not sure they're going to keep him at corner wherever he goes. But I think you're getting him late first round, and I think you're getting
value.
You're getting value.
Yes.
You're getting mid first round value for him, 1,000%. So those are just some guys that I like, and I think you can get value on. I think a guy who might fall you can get good value on is I forgot how to pronounce his first name, Jarzan Newton, interior defensive lineman out of Illinois. Let's see, Mrs. Wiggins. I can't not say that when I see him. I think another guy, Zach Frazier, center out of West Virginia. That's a guy that you might get first round talent for him in the second round. That's a guy that's going to fall. I don't see him going in the first round. He's a first round talent, in my opinion, but that's a guy that you might, if you get him in round 2, you're getting a deal. And if somebody jumps up and takes him in round 1, I won't be surprised.
Okay.
Not one bit. So it's just a couple to keep in mind. We're going to talk a lot more draft.
Oh yeah.
The night of the draft.
Yes.
Next Thursday.
Yeah. What's the Thursday? It's gonna be a long one. But again, we always have a blast with it. It's just a fun night. It's simple as that. It's a fun night. So
good times.
I'm very much looking forward to that. So,
same. Absolute same.
This past weekend, me and Joe went to SmackDown, which was in Detroit.
Yes, we did.
And it's the first time, like I went to SummerSlam earlier. That was my first live wrestling experience was SummerSlam.
And you didn't care for it?
I didn't care for it. I don't know. The atmosphere there I thought kind of sucked. The matches were really predictable and boring.
We did not get our money's worth.
We did not get our money's worth. But however, so I went to SmackDown. And it was completely different. Completely different.
Yep.
Like, just the atmosphere was significantly better. You're much closer to the ring. You know, you can actually see it a lot better. It was an overall better experience. And I was very happy about that. And especially where our seats were. We were on camera, like, I would say, 60% of the show?
Yeah, we were on camera
Give or take.
We were on camera a lot.
Yeah, we were on camera a lot. And we didn't realize this, because where our seats were, it was like I don't even know. Like it wasn't on the normal concourse.
No, we had our own private area.
It was like club level, but not club level. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was like club level where we were able to. We had almost private bathrooms for our section.
Great.
And it was
no lines for beers.
Never a line for beers.
Oh, amazing.
Like a 30-second to a minute wait for food.
Yeah, it was awesome.
it was great.
It was fantastic. Overall, great experience. And whenever SmackDown or Raw comes back, I would definitely like to go again. I want to get those same fucking seats. So.
Yes, I'm with you there. We have to remember what seats those were, so we can get them next time.
Yes,
we'll get pre-sale tickets.
Section 109 or something like that.
Yeah, 109, 109, row 19.
Yeah.
And they were great too because they were aisle seats.
It was even better.
They were right when we walked out of the tunnel, right there.
Great seats.
Great seats. It was a great time.
It really was.
It was a great time, and So was I correct in my analysis of what the difference is? My analogy of it is going to see SummerSlam at Ford Field,
Yeah.
and then going to SmackDown or a smaller event at LCA.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of seeing a hockey game in a big giant arena,
Mm-hmm.
and then going to Yost to watch a hockey game. It's just you're right on top of the action.
And that's what I liked about it.
You're more into it. You're more there. You're more a part of it. You feel more of a part of it.
Especially where our seats were, it felt like you were like right on top of the action.
Yeah.
You could see like everything that was going down. I thought that was really cool, and you're right, yeah, because that's how Yost is. Like you're like right on top of the action.
It's just a different feel.
The only thing I didn't like about it was that match, that triple threat match with LA Knight and what was it, Lashley and who's the other guy?
Oh yeah. Who else
Which-
did they have? I forgot.
Which they have LA Knight come out, and then they go to commercial, and he literally has to sit there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Before anything happens.
Well, and the funny thing is, you've seen that during the events when you watch them on TV.
Yeah.
You just don't realize
Yeah.
what actually happens.
Yeah.
And they do. They have a big entrance, and then they go to a commercial, and that guy's just stuck sitting there.
That sucks.
He literally just sat.
He sat in the corner.
in the corner on the ropes.
Yeah, for like 5 minutes. They turned down the lights, so
Mm-hmm.
like you didn't like notice him or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's fucking weird. But don't do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But that's yeah, it was a good time. Man.
Yeah, it was a great time.
And,
I enjoyed it.
I do want to call you out a little bit.
Oh boy.
You hated on my shirt.
I did, but you got crazy compliments on that thing.
You hated on my shirt
I
because
did.
it was a bright
It
yellow.
was really bright.
It was a bright yellow and red Hulkster shirt. And
I think if it had been red and with the
with
yellow,
the yellow?
hooks, I think I would have liked that better.
so
but
and right, obviously we know why I got it, right? I wanted
Yes,
to be visible for
Yeah,
my
yeah.
daughter who was going to be watching
Yeah.
at home, and I was very visible,
you were.
especially with the yellow
Big
sign
yellow
Bert and I made,
sign, yeah.
which we were on camera a lot.
Apparently, Lady Friend didn't notice it.
Well, I can tell you that almost everybody and their brother noticed it.
Yeah.
There was people that I put that out there on Facebook that I put some pictures of, like I took some snaps of the TV and showed us on camera a lot. And I can't tell you how many people either messaged on that post
Yeah.
or messaged me on the side and were like, dude, I saw your sign. I didn't realize that was you. Or, yeah, I was watching. I saw that sign. It was really awesome. It was a good time. And
It was.
that shirt, for buying it for the reason I bought it for, it was good. I
was
I
good,
cannot
man.
tell you how many people
Oh.
were we walking by that were like,
So
dog,
many.
fucking great shirt.
Yeah, there was tons of people were like, dude, that sweatshirt's dope, or that sweatshirt's fantastic.
And that is not what I expected. That's not what I bought it for. But I was like, okay, it's a win.
She's like, Lady Friend says, I did notice it. I just didn't know it was you guys. Fair enough.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Fair enough.
Allison, listen, dear, I love you. I really do. I'm gonna leave that one go.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So it was a great time, and I spent some time getting booed by children.
Oh, we both did.
That was fun.
Oh yeah,
that was
when
a
we
good
were
time.
when we were booing Cody Rhodes, it was awesome.
Boo and Cody Rhodes, me yelling at them, no yeet.
Oh, that was great. We had a lot of interesting conversations that night.
Dude, it was great.
with the guys sitting next to us.
Yeah, listen. Well, so the couple behind us
Yeah.
was really great.
Yeah.
The two guys sitting next to us were awesome people,
Yep.
right?
No, I agree with you.
And then half of our section behind us were playing along and having a great time
Oh, yeah,
too. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
It was like it was a good time. It was awesome. We had a fun time.
Yeah, it's always nice when you go there, even if you like have differing opinions on what's going down. It's all in good fun, guys. Like
That's
this
what-
isn't real. It's not real.
That's what I love about, and you said it while we were there, and that's I agree with you. That's what I love about wrestling events, right? If you watch wrestling, you know it's a soap opera,
Yes.
with athleticism,
Yes.
and you go there and you know it's predetermined and you enjoy it for what it is, but everyone's there to enjoy it. And if you're rooting for a different guy, or if you're dogging somebody that somebody else likes and you're talking shit about them, everyone takes it in stride and they think it's fun.
Yes.
And it's awesome. Everyone just gets along. It's a good time.
Right. Exactly. It's not like it's not like you're boys with this one of these wrestlers or whatever. That's not
Right.
the case. Like you don't know any of these people.
Yeah. So So Dennis said he had a great time. Dennis, I saw some of your photos, man. You ended up getting
You got a picture with Cody?
You didn't start out at that seat, but you ended up at that seat. You started out a little higher from your pictures from what I saw, and then you ended up down like ringside, which is fucking awesome.
Good
man.
for you, buddy.
That's great. You got a picture with Cody Rhodes. Congratulations for you. I would not have taken that picture.
Nope.
But you like him. Congratulations. It was a good photo. And that's a keepsake for fucking ever, man. That's awesome.
Yes, it is.
And then Dennis just said, I love Jay getting Solo to break. I always loved when the Usos and or
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
I couldn't think it was got the bloodline to break. I always love that. I love when wrestlers in general are like joking. They're jokesters,
like
and they're in the ring with a non-joking like
yesterday
character.
when Truth got Triple H to break.
Yeah. Well, it's like they used to try to break Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
They used to try to break Undertaker all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. I love that kind of shit when they do that.
Well, I think you're seeing, and this is where I think the Triple H effect comes in, is now they're letting these guys just be more themselves and not scripted bullshit.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's kind of one reason why I love the fact that we came into that entrance tonight.
Yeah.
Because Dennis said ended up sitting next to Brandy's family.
Cody's wife.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. He said halfway through the show, I was front row at ringside on the camera side. Yeah, I like I said, I did notice you didn't start out there, but you ended up there. And listen, it's where you end up, man. That was fucking awesome. Those were awesome seats.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, I think they really have started a new era.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that literally WrestleMania 40 is a new era for them. They have a new entrance to their shows.
Oh, they do. Like even yesterday, like the Sami Zayn Chad Gable match, like his entrance to the ring was amazing. Like that's not something they would have done previous to.
No.
Like
Well, they have a new intro to the shows,
Yeah.
which is Triple H's voice.
yeah, I noticed that.
They have a little bit less big screen. You know, they've dumbed down the set a little bit,
because they wanted to get more seats.
which is great. I like the bigger sets, but at least they didn't dumb it down all the way, right? They still have big screens back there, and they'll still have sets and pyro and all that.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued as to where this is all heading. I think Triple H is doing a great job, and I'm pretty excited to see to watch it from here on out for a while.
No, I agree with you. Absolutely. He's, so far, so good. Can't complain.
Yep. Dennis says not bad for a $35 ticket. No, you're right. That was not bad at all, brother.
Nope. Well played, sir.
Anything else for us tonight?
No.
Nope. All right. Listen, guys, tune in next Thursday.
Yes.
No
show Tuesday.
No show Tuesday. And Thursday night will be the draft. We'll be doing a live show that night. Do you know what time we will be starting? What time does the draft start?
I think 8, right? I think it normally starts at 8.
I think we'll probably start the show at the same time we do every night, right? 7 o'clock.
7? Yeah, kind of get ready.
Do like a pre-show
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yes.
So Thursday the 25th, we're going to be doing the draft show. And we will start at 7 o'clock like we do on Tuesdays. We'll be here all the way through the entire first round of the draft that night.
Yeah.
It will be a long night. It will be a fun night. And we
Yes.
hope you join us and have a little bit of a good time with us while you're watching the draft. You're going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
Why not watch it and listen to us?
Get some good laughs.
Yep.
You
You
know,
can
shit like that.
you can call in.
Yeah.
You can message in. You can
Absolutely.
text in. And we will absolutely interact with you and read your stuff.
Yeah, we did that the
get you
first
out
year,
there.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, people. That was great. I
Yep.
enjoyed that a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, send in questions, stuff like that. That's always fun.
It's a good time. So join us on the 25th
And
at
Dennis,
7
yes, I
o'clock.
do agree with you that the new Bloodline story is going to be awesome with Solo running the show.
I'm with you. I think the new Bloodline story is going to be great. I think they're bringing in some new Bloodline, which we already saw at SmackDown.
Yep.
They're going to bring in even some more people for that storyline, and that storyline will literally never fucking die.
It can't.
Every time, and we talked about this that night. Every time it gets a little bit boring or a little bit old, they switch it up.
They switch it up.
They
Yep.
switch it up.
Yep.
On that note, we're done for the night. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. You can find all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. As always, check out SOTDET.com. Click on shop. Buy some shit. We'd love it. We would appreciate it. It would support the show. SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris and Frank, who still has a job, we are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no!
Bye. Have a great time.
No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no. Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be a dad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.